have been the main shifts for you and your family and your parenting?
I wanted to parent with understanding, be able to be gentle with my kids and hear them, understand them, know where they're coming from. And then in going through this program, it gave me all the tools that I needed. And I was able to parent from such a different angle, and there was such a shift. My kids, it was always the fights and the power struggles and the yelling. And then a couple weeks into this program, all of a sudden I realized that with the information that I was getting and I was utilizing it in myself and my parenting, the power struggles were going away. The yelling was going away. The family dynamic was just a lot easier.
What are the tools that she's talking about that helped her so much? That's going to be this video lesson. I'm going to share with you 2 powerful tools that has helped so many of our clients here in HIC Parenting Education go from frustration, overwhelmed, to know I have the tools, I'm equipped to confidently, peaceful parent my kids from a connected place and assert responses. Hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm the CEO and founder of HIC Parenting Education Agency. We are an agency committed to help you heal your reactivity, connect with more with your children, using the Parenting with Understanding methodology with the help of your HIC parenting coach every step of the way. These 2 tools are the use process, USE, and the self process. The self process is a parent-centric tool that she used to heal her reactivity, to understand the source of her triggers. So now when her kids are dysregulated, when they're fighting, when they're in a tantrum, instead of her reactions getting the best of her, she's able to confidently help them through their emotions from a connected place and assert responses. And the use process is the child-centric tool that she used to respond with what her children exactly needed. So let's talk about each one of the elements of these 2 tools so you can have them as well as the roadmap in your parenting. Let's start with the parent-centric tool to understand yourself, to manage your triggers, and respond from a connected place to your kids. And it is the self process, S. So S is becoming a secure parent. In our childhood, we didn't have the model of how to manage our emotions from a connected place. So what happened to Chelsea? With the help of her parenting coach, she learned that her reactivity didn't come from her kids. Her reactivity came from narratives that started in her childhood when she was having big emotions. And then she learned things such as anger is bad. Anger is an emotion that we should run away from. And that's the place that she was responding to her kids. So with the help of her parenting coach, she started developing a healthy relationship with anger. So instead of running away from it, she was feeling her anger and using her anger as a way to model her kids how to deal with big emotions in a positive way. And that's how she became the secure parent that her children needed. Now, what happened is that she was managing her anger. She was becoming that safe place for her kids, but then still the communication was not quite there yet. She was responding to her kids from the things that she was reading online on TikTok. But what happened there is that TikTok and Instagram and Reels and social media content doesn't know her kids' developmental stage. So she went from the S element, which is becoming a secure parent, and then her parenting coach helped her with E, which is becoming an educated parent on her child's brain development, and the way that they process and understand information at their developmental stage. So her kids are under 5, and she learned that children under 5 don't need just the parent's voice, but they need the parent's body in order to understand and comply and cooperate. So she learned that she needed to go to her kids first, and with the help of her parenting coach, She designed a plan that worked for her kid's temperament. Once she was educated on brain development, then she moved to the L. The L is that she became a parent capable of loving responses even during her child's quote unquote misbehaviors. And I say quote unquote because we are going to talk later about what those behaviors really mean. Many of us grew up in the narrative that if our children are misbehaving or behaving poorly, then we need to respond back with disconnected responses. And then she learned with the help of her parenting coach that she doesn't necessarily have to have disconnected responses for her children to learn boundaries, the lessons that she wanted to teach her children. So she learned to communicate boundaries from a loving way, knowing that her boundaries come from family values, and she learned, discover with the help of her coach what her family values are, and designed a plan to communicate those values to her children before the behaviors happen. So when they happen, instead of her having to teach them on the spot when they were dysregulated, she was just in the place of reminding them and redirecting them to what they were already working on from the beginning. And once Chelsea was secure, educated in child development, capable of setting loving limits that were effective for her kids' development, the last thing that she did is that she became a fun parent, meaning that she started to find joy and peace in her parenting. She started collaborating more with her kids instead of imposing her will, and this was the self-process that took her to understand how she can work on herself so she could be effective with her kids. And then she moved on to the second tool, which is the use process, to understand her kids. So the U is unveiling what those behaviors really mean. And according to research, every single behavior communicates a need. So she started seeing that these behaviors were really communicating a need. When her children were fighting, when her children were in a tantrum, when her children were dysregulated, they were communicating a need. In her work with her parenting coach, she learned that there are 5 basic needs according to research. We have the need for survival, we have the need for power, we have the need for fun, we have the need for belonging, we have the need for freedom. And then she started unveiling those needs beneath those behaviors and responding to her children, meeting those needs. So if the tantrum was communicating, I need belonging, then she met the need without giving in to the tantrum. And then she moved on to the S element of the use process. And the S element was that her children were having dysregulated responses. And she started to learn with the help of her coach that before children get to those dysregulated responses and aggression, there are early signs, there are early behavior levels. And she started unveiling those early signs and behavior levels and meeting her children before those turn into aggressive tantrums or meltdowns. And the last element was the E, educating her kids on communicating those needs from a grounded and connected place instead of the hitting, the tantrum, the kicking, the biting, all those behaviors. And then slowly but surely she started seeing less tantrums, less power struggles, less yelling, and all the amazing results that she got. And how did she get to this place? Because she went outside of just information that she got from this video lesson, and she started applying those with the help of her parenting coach. In our 14-week group coaching program, she met every single week with her coach to work on the self-process, to understand her triggers, to understand her reactions, to know how rewire the way that she communicates to her kids, to learn how their brain works and their development is. She started applying parenting with understanding, this methodology, instead of just hearing about it. And that happened because her coach was right there every step of the way. To apply to our group coaching program, This is a small group coaching program, no more than 7 parents. You are going to get direct guidance from your coach. All you have to do is click the button below, and there is an application for you to fill out. So this is what's going to happen. It's going to show you an application where we get to understand your needs, your goals, your struggles. So fill it out with detail. And then once we learn about you, we will see if we are the professionals to help you. If we are, then at the end, we're going to show you our calendar where you get to book a free discovery call with a member of our team. And there you are going to ask them all the questions about our program. And if it's fitting for you, then on the call, you are going to enroll in HIC Parenting Education and start working and applying these processes with the help of your coach. We are committed to your parenting, and I know that you are committed to your parenting as well. We are going to show up for the call, and we expect you to show up as well, because on this call, you are going to see if working directly with us, with a parenting coach, is what you need. If you are ready to get out of social media tips, general advice that doesn't know your children, your children's needs, your reactions, and you know that you need more than that, then go to the button below, fill out the application, book the free call, ask all your questions, and I hope to see you inside HIC Parenting Education in the Parenting with Understanding program, working alongside one of our HIC coaches.